the interesting thing is because I had an agency and because I'm a graphic designer, the only way I know how to build stuff is to talk to people and to ask what they do and follow them and do stuff. So in a way, I followed their inspectors or the property managers in the field, and this is one of the earliest things I did. So I followed this guy. He was a maintenance guy, and like
Like
I
physically, you were there with him. I mean,
I was there
physically,
with
you were
him, just
there.
watching how he's using this. Like, we had a test flight version, so it was just like a prototype that we gave to him,
Hmm.
right? And we're like, "Hey, go and do some inspections. Let's follow you around." So he walked around, and then he was just struggling on this screen. And I'm like, "Oh God, he doesn't know how to use an iPad." No, I kind of looked closer, and I realized that he had massive sausage fingers. Like his fingers were 3 times the size of mine, and we had made the slider really small, the hit state really small. So he was trying to like tap on it and slide it. He just couldn't. And I'm like, oh my God, we need bigger buttons. And
Wow.
so we went back to the drawing board. Um, and what I did was my co-founder were like, hey, can you make the hit state bigger? Let's make everything bigger, dopier, simple, easier to use. Um, and then if you look at like, I don't know, 2000, circa 2012, 13, you look at inspection apps, all of them looked a certain way until we came on the scene and we started making these big dopey buttons. And today, if you look at it, every inspection app has the big dopey buttons. Like we kind of started that trend. Um, but it's just one of those things where a lot of times you build software, you don't think about the end user. You're especially enterprise, you're selling to the executive layer, right?
Yes. Yes.
Report.
Yeah.
But we were fortunate we started with the end user and then worked our way up. And so I think that was our secret sauce in the early days. So we did work with our customers on that and then slowly iterated on the product.
One of my biggest breakthroughs probably in my career and companies was exactly how you're describing, sitting with IT people,
Mhm.
watching over their shoulder as they did their job. And to what you just said, I think it's just something that a lot of entrepreneurs don't do. A lot of founders don't do,
Yeah.
and it's and actually in 1 hour watching this one
Mhm.
person do their job, I was like,
Yeah.
"Whoa, like, this is crazy. You have 150 tabs open in Chrome, and you're clicking between and then referencing this spreadsheet." I'm like, "What if I just put it for you in one UI?" And they're like, "Oh, that would change everything." And you're like, "Okay," and it's
Yeah.
like the same kind of thing where it's like just being with like actually physically being with the customer and
Yeah.
watching them work. I mean, you can change an industry. Literally, you can change.
Yeah. And I think that's why in our industry, we're selling typically to like the end users, the maintenance guy, right? And I think it's like, no, who wants to sit with a maintenance person? Like
Mhm,
it's not cool. If
mhm.
you're in marketing, you're sitting with some, in a beautiful corporate office with
Yeah,
like good
yeah.
looking people that are, like all cool looking. But maintenance is like grimy, it's dirty, yeah, it's unsexy. But to me, having grown up middle class, like that's my dad. It's like, hey, I'm your
Mhm.
dad, like that's his world. He always fingers always dirty. He's always, tinkering with something. Um, Technology he's not great at, but and he can't learn by reading like
Mm.
he has to learn by very
Doing.
tactile doing,
Mm.
and so I don't know. I just think like it's very interesting. Like yeah, you're right. We don't go we need to kind of get on the floor and play with our kids, if that makes sense. You can't put a standing on play. You have to
I
lie down on the
love that.
ground with your
I
kid,
love that.
throwing them around at that level. So anyway, that's something that I think we did right in the beginning, and we've continued to do that as we've grown.